Whoa. Whoa. There we go. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Come on in.
Golly gee, so happy to have you guys here today for this wonderful show known as The Check-In. And it's Winnipeg Jets taking on the Anaheim Ducks.
I'm Sara Lesky. He's Jamie Thomas.
Was that uncomfortable for you? Because you always bring us in, so it must have you.
I do.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That problem is you never do.
That's why I
sure.
usually take the lead.
That's right. We got a big show.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Mitchell Clinton's going to join us in just a couple of minutes from Anaheim as we get ready for the second game of back-to-backs. And we are hoping, fingers crossed, that we might be able to bring a mom on.
A spokesmom.
I love that.
Yeah, that's from Cameron Penny, our social media guru, who's on the road with the moms.
He said he's going to try to find us a spokesmom to be able to come on with us. They are going out to an event right now.
Are they going on a cruise or something like that?
They are.
They deserve it.
Absolutely, they do. So we will see if while they are on the bus, they are able to join us, just to get a quick thought from them, because I know from whether it be the comments here or when you look at all of the comments on the social media posts that we have had and the content so far, people have loved seeing the moms. So hoping to be able to have one join us.
No better spokesperson than a spokesmom at that point. So it's, I'm curious to see who it's going to be. Hopefully Cameron lets us know, or else we're going to have to play 20 questions to figure out who's mom. I got a pretty good sense of all the moms, of who they are and who they belong to.
It'd be so awkward if you got it wrong, though. Oh, would it ever? The Jets come in. The Jets come
Adam's your son, huh?
The Jets come in having won last night in San Jose, that 4-3 win. Mitchell Clinton's going to join us momentarily, but I do want to let you know what the question of the day is beforehand. There are 3 games left before the holiday break.
That's our gift to you.
What's the gift?
The gift of the 3 games. That's our gift to you. So which game are you looking forward to the most? The one tonight
against Anaheim.
The one Saturday
here at Canada Life Center.
And the last one before the break in
Toronto
against the Maple Leafs. There is they got a bone to pick with the Leafs.
Absolutely. So that's our question. We want to hear from you. We will give you our opinions on it after, but we're quickly going to bring in Mitchell.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Ready in his hotel room. He has the broadcast meeting coming up here right away, fresh off the ride at Splash Mountain. He's ready to go, just getting back from Disneyland. Congratulations. You made it. You're alive. So I know you're exhausted and you're traumatized from Splash Mountain. So we'll get to the first question. Adam Lowry scores the game-winning goal last night, Mitch. He's up to 9 goals in the year, on pace for 22. Made a great comment to Cameron Penny last night that he's a sniper. Well, he's on a little bit of a tear right now. So an underappreciated part of Adam Lowry's game is his goal scoring ability.
Yeah, of course. It really seems that, I mean, we've seen most of it, I would say, in the postseason. You know, I remember the series against Vegas where he was basically unstoppable. And even against Colorado last season, you know, he was able to find the back of the net as well. So just a big game player, you know, and that's what you want in your captain. And, you know, the other part that I felt really good about for Adam Lowry and for his mom yesterday, I mean, Jamie, you'll remember the mom's trip back in 2019-20. I believe it was in January, so 2020.
Yes.
Where that trip didn't go so well for Adam Lowry, where he got hurt in the first game and then, you know, really wasn't able to play in front of his mom over the course of that trip. So I was really happy to see him get the eventual game winner against San Jose and play a strong game, as a number of the Winnipeg Jets did.
Oh, yeah, Sarah's a little busy here now. We're working on something. So outside of Adam Lowry scoring the game-winning goal, the other part of the Jets game that was huge last night was the power play. It's clicking again. Kyle Connor talked about it, the different ways they like to attack. What impressed you the most about the power play last night?
I think just how direct they were, but also their puck retrievals, right? So, like, one of the things they always talk about is having that attack mentality and wanting to get pucks to the net. Well, yes, that's easy to do in theory, but you also have to have the confidence as a group that you're going to get that puck back if it doesn't go in, because you don't want to be one and done and then have to go and redo that entire entry all over again. So their ability to get the puck back and win the battle. I mean, the first power play goal comes off of a face-off that's a scramble, and it's sitting there for 2, 3, 4 seconds before Winnipeg's able to get a touch on it. And then I think it's about 4 or 5 passes later, it's in the back of the net. You know, it shows how quickly they can strike, but also how determined that they can be with the puck, like on the second power play where, you know, they just worked that puck around to Kyle Connor. And it was interesting, he kind of referenced they used that little bit of extra time that they had because they were looking to see if one puck was in the net to kind of figure out, okay, this is what we've seen from the penalty kill. Let's see if we can, get this look. And lo and behold, they get that look, and Kyle Connor makes no mistake. So power play 6 for 9 against San Jose so far this year, and came up big on a couple of occasions against the Sharks last night. And no doubt it'll be an important part of the game tonight against Anaheim as well.
Mitch, when you're looking at this game tonight against Anaheim, what is something that, besides the power play, that you're going to be watching for? What type of game do you expect between these two teams?
Physical probably would be my answer, and that's always a tough game to play on the back half of a back-to-back. But I mean, obviously Anaheim's a little bit of a different team than what the Winnipeg Jets saw last year. Obviously bringing in Jacob Trouba, number one. So the first thing you think about with Jacob Trouba is physicality. So he's going to be bringing that, even against a number of familiar faces on the Winnipeg Jets. Radko Gudas is on the squad. That's going to be physical. Yes, they're without Trevor Zegras, but they've got some forwards that have some skill and can get in on the forecheck as well and create some havoc for the Winnipeg Jets D. That was the thing that stood out to me in San Jose, was just how quickly and how physically the San Jose forecheck was getting in on the Winnipeg Jets defense. They adjusted to it and started to find their outs and break out as a unit of 5, and that's kind of what led to them having some offensive opportunities. So I'm going to look for a little bit more of a physical game. It's probably going to be another, kind of 1-goal-ish game for the majority of the contest. That's kind of how these ones seem to go. Winnipeg will probably rely on their depth in order to get a victory tonight.
Buddy, appreciate the time. Get off to your coaches meeting, broadcast meeting. We've got a special guest coming on the show. It's a spokesperson on the mom's trip. So thanks, Mitch, for your time. And we'll talk to you soon when you get home, my friend.
Awesome. The ratings are only going to go up with the next.
See you, buddy. All right. So as promised, a spokesperson from the mom's trip, Sarah, without further ado, please go ahead.
Okay, welcoming in, not a mom, but very happy to have her join us. Brittany Hallebuck, Connor's sister, is joining us.
Oh, yeah.
Was there a lot of arm twisting that needed to go on, Brittany, in order for this to happen?
Not really. I was really excited to jump at the opportunity here. So I'm just very thankful to have been invited.
Well, we're so happy to have you with it. What has been your favorite part of this trip so far?
I would have to say the people, the energy of just all of the moms in general is awesome, as well as meeting everyone, all of the players, and then, just everyone that's a part of this organization. They're so wonderful, so warm and inviting, and it's been a great atmosphere.
Okay, I got so many questions about Connor, but we'll get to this, the easiest one first. How nervous do you get watching your brother play on a nightly basis?
Oh man, this is, I think as time goes on, you get used to it. But I will say any PK is definitely nerve-wracking. That's when you start to see me hunch over and intensely watch. And that one's a little more anxiety-ridden.
Okay, and I want to know, so you're the younger sister, Connor. What was it like growing up in the Hallebuck house with him?
It was fun.
This is your chance to tell all.
It's a safe space. It's a safe space. No one's going to find out about this. Just tell us the truth, what it was like.
I should preface this with being the younger sister. I had 2 older brothers that were very, very close in age. They both played hockey. So, growing up, I got dragged around to a lot of practices, and I do say dragged around. Yeah. So I'd spend hours at the rink. But it's been a lot of fun to watch them grow up and everything. But being a little sister, you definitely get picked on the most. So it's fun to watch them grow up and, have that relationship change of being the younger sister that gets picked on to being the younger sister that goes on the mom's trip. So it's awesome.
Okay, so what's an annoying thing Connor did when you guys were growing up? Come on, give us the goods.
An annoying thing Connor did. Well, we were a little bit of a prankster. We were pranksters as children. So every once in a while we'd pull a prank on each other. And this was when he was a little older, but when he was leaving for college, I had left. I was at a friend's house or something. And when I came back, he had already left for college. But I go into my room and I go to jump on my bed and it's rock hard. Like I just smacked the top of my bed. He had flipped my box spring with my mattress and then made my bed. So I had no idea. Those are the fun things you get to experience as a Hallebuck.
I love it. Well,
Yes.
Brittany, we've had the opportunity. Obviously, Chuck is a huge fan favorite in this city, as is your brother as well. We are very happy that we know that when looking at the comments as well, that you have quickly become a fan favorite too. So we know that you are off on a cruise for the afternoon with the rest of the guests. So we appreciate you spending just a couple of minutes of time with us here.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much,
Thanks,
Brittany.
man.
Take care.
Take care.
You too.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
That's like mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But funny, but mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, being the younger sister with two older brothers, I
Oh.
can only imagine what some of them
my
would be.
gosh.
So,
Yeah.
Brittany, some of you I see, and are they on a bus right now? They are.
Yeah.
So the mums, and there's a few sisters on the trip. They are going right now. They're going to take a little cruise, have some lunch out, and then head back so that they can take in the game tonight in Anaheim.
Yeah. Just that was a very pleasant surprise. But I could sat there and ask her stuff about Connor all day, but I guess it's not the time.
No,
No.
not the time. And
Yeah.
we didn't, and the connection was a little bit
Yeah.
spotty. They're having some issues out there with it. So, but great that she was able to join us for a little bit. There is no morning skate today. Everybody probably knows that second game of back-to-backs, we don't usually see a morning skate. So have to take a look at warm-up to see whether or not there's any lineup changes. We would guess that Eric Comrie is going to get the start tonight.
Yes.
Since, Connor played last night, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know whether or not we're going to see Nikolai Ehlers. Maybe we'll look for a Saturday return for that.
Yeah, that'll be a very interesting to see. Maybe there'll be a change in the back end too. We would love to give you guys this type of information, but with the time change, we're a little bit up against it. So let's go back to last night's game for a little bit. Of course, they beat the Sharks 4-3. Kind of knew that it wasn't going to be as easy as maybe a lot of people were figuring out it was going to be, because San Jose's play, as Dan Rosanowski told us yesterday, has improved as of late. Will Smith was very impressive, and Macklin Celebrini, my goodness, you see everything.
Yeah, the young talent that they have coming up, you give them a couple of years to be able to round, and certainly they're making the progress. They're going to trend in the right direction.
So yeah, we just saw. So first off, we're going to hear from Scott O'Neill talking about the game last night, and then Adam Lowry scored the game-winning goal. He's going to talk about the goal scoring tear he's on right now. As I mentioned, he's on pace for 22 goals, which would be a career high. Let's hear from Scott O'Neill first, and then the captain.
Young, quick team, San Jose, and their transition game. We really try to get away from letting them get into their rush game, and we were trying to clog up the middle as much as we could. Our power play stepped up big time, and they kind of, they weren't going away. And then, that third period there, it was, we got back to kind of, doing something. We gave up a rush goal. Obviously, we got caught, but I like the way we, stayed in the game till the very end. And
just a pure sniper. I don't know. It always feels like I go through hot and cold streaks, and it seems like the puck's going in for me right now, and it's a great shot by Smokey. I'm just doing my best to get into Georgiev's eyes, and luckily I got a stick on it. But last game, makes an unbelievable pass. I just have to tap it in. So a lot of credit goes to my line mates and the D pair that I'm out there with.
Okay, so in terms of the volume, Scott O'Neill is a soft talker. Let's just flat out say it. Like, it just sometimes doesn't work out that way. And then Adam Lowry a little more boisterous.
Jamie's getting defensive.
Yeah, I am.
Mhm.
Yeah, I am. Getting cranky before the holidays. Had enough of this stuff. Anyways, carry on, Sarah.
Lowry, 9 goals. 15 was his career high back
Yeah.
in 2016-17. He's on pace for 22.
Mm-hmm.
So one of several players that are on pace for career years. Still 4 game-winning goals already, which is a career high. Pretty impressive when you think 4 out of his 9 goals game-winning.
Yeah, he's having a great year. And I think, we're still waiting to see a little more offensive consistency from the second line. How about Nikita Chibrikov blocking a big shot in the first period yesterday?
And then the fact that he came back.
Yeah. So they blocked 10 shots total in the first period. I know Logan Stanley blocked 5 of them, but man, Chibrikov totally, and you saw him go back to the bench. Needs some help to get there. Needs some help to get off the ice. But you see everybody patting him on the back, and Nino Niederreiter was right there sitting beside him and asking him if he was okay, because that's the type of sacrifice you have to make to stick in the National Hockey League. And Nikita Chibrikov paying the price last night in San Jose.
And something that he's talked about, a couple of games ago, we ran clips of him where he was saying that whether it's anytime you're out there, whether it's blocking shots, going into the corners, whatever you have to do, that is part of what is required, not only as a professional hockey player, but he knows for him to be able to make that next step and hopefully at one point become a regular in the NHL.
Yeah, and he's taken a lot of great steps in the short time he's been up with the Jets as well. So really acclimating himself quickly to the National Hockey League, and I like the dynamic part of his game as well. So hopefully he's okay, and we'll get some more ice time against the Ducks tonight.
Yes, Connor Hellebuyck, fastest U.S.-born goaltender to reach 20 wins in a season. He did it in 26 starts. Who did he pass, Jamie? Do you know?
Good old Frank Brimsek. You know, that guy that just pops up into your head every single time. Yeah. So congratulations to Connor Hellebuyck for passing somebody we don't.
What season?
Okay, so here's a joke. Here we go. What did
No,
you have? That's something my kids would say. Did you have fun watching Frank Brimsek in 1934?
It was 1938.
Okay, so
you're not that old.
I'm pretty old.
39 season.
Yeah, so congratulations on that aspect. Just keeps on winning. What a tremendous start to the year. He was huge again. And I tell you this, like in the opening 10 minutes of that first period, San Jose was coming up a lot. You heard Scott Armiel talk about this last night about giving up the rush chances. San Jose is attacking at all times, and you just talked about all the young talent that they've assembled there. They have some nice veteran presence on the team as well. And man, they are direct with getting pucks to the net, and it was something to see. And you see a bright future for them when you just think about what happened in Buffalo again. Buffalo lost again last night to Montreal, but you just certainly see where the Sharks organization is heading in the right direction. So full credit to Winnipeg for getting it done in a tough building last night.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Sharks continuing to acquire draft picks as well as they look to rebuild. Going against Anaheim here tonight.
Yes.
What are you expecting to see?
Well, I mean, they were 16-2-1 their last 19 games against the Ducks, and they've won 10 of their last 11. So Anaheim's almost, I don't want to say they're in the same space where Buffalo is right now, but they're rebuilding. They just acquired Jacob Trouba. There's, you're always hearing John Gibson could be on the way out. They have a great goaltender and a young goaltender, Lucas Dahlstol, that you can build around. So is this the year John Gibson gets traded before the trade deadline to help some other team and give them some goaltending solidified going into the playoffs? But I just think Winnipeg has to continue to do what they did in the third period, grind it out. It's going to be a physical game, as Mitch said. Always is when they play Anaheim. But, Trevor Zegras, a player who Anaheim was hoping was going to be their answer, just can't stay healthy. And
he's on IR again. He's missed the last 5 games. He had knee surgery. He's expected to be out for a number of weeks. So just tough blow. Yeah, and then Leo Carlson, who was the youngest player chosen, respectively, for the Four Nations face-off coming up. Just under, I think he's just 19 and a little bit, or just almost 20 years old. He's a bright part of their future coming up too. Mason McTavish is another big part of their future too, but it's not a game where the Jets are going to take them lightly because they're veteran enough presence in the dressing room. You don't have to worry about that. But so I expect a physical game. We'll see where Winnipeg is in terms of their legs, although it's a pretty short travel from San Jose to Anaheim. Again, so we'll just see where they are sitting in the first period. But what we've seen from Winnipeg on the road is just these slower starts in the first period where they've had to have their goaltender hold them in. So if it is Eric Comrie tonight, which it seems to be, we'll just think about the goal support he's got. They've scored 6 goals in his last 4 starts, the Jets. Yeah. And there's 3 4-1 losses in there as well. So Eric Comrie has played well enough he's given them a chance to win. The offense just hasn't been there. So I'm curious to see where the offense will be tonight for the Jets. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that. I do think there are some questions with it. Power play, I mean, Mitch talked about the success, obviously, that they've been having with that. Yeah. Special teams is an area that Anaheim has struggled with this season. And it's sometimes difficult, I find, when you're looking at just overall numbers, because they don't always provide context for it. And I fully admit that I do not watch a lot of Anaheim Ducks games with it, but special teams an area where the Ducks have struggled. 26th on the power play, 29th on the PK. And actually, they have struggled at home. They're 5-9-1 is what their home record is. So they're better on the road than they are at the Honda Center, but they are also well rested. They last played on Saturday against Columbus. So that's where the legs part come in. So they'll be fresh. Jets might not be. So we'll have to see where they start off tonight. So you just mentioned the power play. Jets power play 2 for 2 last night. First power play goal put them up 2-1. The second one came in the third period and they're down 3-2. And it was Kyle Connor both times. My goodness. That first power play goal. It was Mark Scheifele, the first power play goal. Yes. That pass
Yeah.
Perfetti.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then the passing before that Velarde
before
counter.
it was just, that is what we've been waiting to see again with the power play. I think it goes in waves with it, where when we see the success that they've had this season, it is when that power play is moving the way it's crisp, it's efficient, it's, you're not just holding on to it and waiting and making those extra passes. It was very dynamic. And
then the second goal, the tying goal from Kyle Connor, I'm like, is he shooting from there? And then right underneath the crossbar, like Georgiev didn't even know where it was coming from, and he was just standing there afterwards, like, did that shot really go in? Which was fascinating. So a couple clips here for you. First one, Kyle Connor talking about the power play, and then the second one is Adam Lowry talking about the top line, who combined for 8 points again last night against the Sharks.
A lot of different kills in the league. Teams be a little more passive, aggressive, and we make it a focal point to do something. Don't change it up, but adjust to how they're killing and be dynamic and unpredictable. And I think we've done a great job of that this year, just scoring in different ways, every single time.
And obviously the puck movement on the power play, but they carried that over to 5-on-5. It was a great play on Casey's first goal. He could have had 4 or 5. He was all over it. They generated some momentum. They were, it seemed like in the first 2 periods they were, our consistent line that had some ozone pressure. The rest of us struggled to kind of establish our forecheck and get it in the zone. For the most part we were better in the third, but I think start to finish.
They most certainly were, but the third line was really good last night. I know the game-winning goal comes off the stick of Adam Lowry, but in terms of ozone time and pressure, I felt like that line was just as good as the third line or first line in terms of just the pressure they were putting on the Sharks last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Going through the comments right now, a lot of you, very unofficial numbers for me, but it seems to be very split. That the mini game to stay in first says Donnie Boy is the game that he's most looking forward to. Matt's going to be at the Wild game, so that has to be the one he's looking forward to. But then a lot same with the Leafs as well. So what about you? Which one are you looking forward to most?
Listen, I will never, having lived in Toronto as long as I did, it made me
made you what?
Just not like them as much.
You're so jaded.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, because when you're in Toronto, you just hear all the stuff like, what has this team really done all the time? Like, I just like, there's so many. I have a great story, and I'll tell you about this. So it
better be good.
So remember Game 7 when the Leafs were up 4-1 in Boston? Yep. In Boston, and so Ken Reed and I are on the desk. We're waiting to do the highlight show, Sportsnet Central afterwards. And then it's 4-2. And so an email goes out that says the Hockey Central panel will be traveling to New York as the Leafs will be taking on the Rangers. And then it's 4-3. And then it's 4-4. And Ken Reed and I are both kind of like jaded by the Maple Leafs a little bit. So him and I are like looking at each other. So, and this is full apologies, guys. There's a place called Highlight Row. And it's the young guys coming out of college. They cut the highlights for the show. They give us our scripts. They're hard workers. And when they lost in overtime, there was like tears. There was tears falling all over the place. And Ken Reed and I are high-fiving each other as we come out. So anyways, I would like to see the Jets finally beat the Leafs. And that game is the one I'm looking forward to the most on Monday.
All right. I'm looking forward to both of them.
Yeah. You're fence sitting.
Fence sitting.
Congratulations.
I'm looking forward to both of them.
Yeah. They're all equally special.
That's right. I covered the Leafs for years. But one of the things that always frustrated me was back when I covered them, there was still streeters were really common.
Yeah.
And so trade deadline. So it was still when the Muskoka Five, the group was known as that, with Matt Sundin, Thomas Caberlet.
That's a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they had no movement clauses.
Yes.
And so every year I had to go stand outside Union Station and try to track people down to ask them if they were upset.
Yeah.
How did they feel about the fact that they would not waive these no trade clauses? And there was nothing I disliked more than trying to accost people.
So look, what is this, Leafs lunch? Too much Leafs talk. See, I can tell you guys all want to see the Leaf game is the one on Monday. So we just listen. This is therapy for us. We're just trying to get through the past, the hard times. Us talking about this makes us feel better.
Okay, I'm looking forward to the game on Saturday because it's going to be here at home, Canada Life Center. You know it's going to be rocking, the last game before the holiday break. We only have a couple more games here at home before the calendar flips over to 2025. And anytime that you have the biggest rivals,
Yeah.
as you all have informed
You
us,
clearly have let us know.
that's right.
Yeah.
The Jets come into town. You know it's going to be a good one, especially because it is on a weekend.
Okay, so here's some great answers. I hate the Leafs more than I like the Jets. 58 years and counting after this year's playoff oblivion for the Leafs.
Hey,
See?
enough with Leafs talk.
Okay, sorry
we
about
have,
that.
We have moved on.
Yeah.
So we might as well wrap up for today. We
What
appreciate.
time is check-in on Monday?
Oh, I actually, it's funny. So it is, for those of you that maybe don't know yet, the Leafs Jets game is an afternoon game.
1 o'clock, right?
It is a 1 o'clock central start. So
Yeah.
I said to Jamie today, actually, I had said in a group text yesterday, hey guys.
No one answered. That was,
No one answered.
I thought Adam was going to answer,
No,
so I left it.
Nobody answered me. I said, so our check-in show is going to go up against the pregame show.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? Crickets. Nobody replies to me. That's fine.
Yeah.
And so I brought it up again with Jamie today, and he said that they have decided 10:30.
I said a super secret meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
That I was not invited to, obviously.
Well,
10:30 a.m. for those of you asking. So on Monday, make sure
Yeah.
that we'd love for you to
for
be
the
here.
biggest game before the holidays.
That's we would love for you guys to be here join us in the chat for it, but it'll be at 10:30. So if for some reason you are not able to join us, make sure that you can still catch it afterwards on YouTube and Facebook.
All right. So we're having internet problems, so we better get out of here. It is the Ducks. It is the Jets. Jets trying to win for the sixth time in their last 8 games. Keep it rolling on the mom's trip. Hopefully go 2-0.
That'd be great because
Yeah.
the mums deserve to be able to see a couple of wins. They also want some bragging rights over the dad and the mentors that had the trip last year with the success that they've had. Again, the Jets coming in 23-9-1. Their 23 wins most in the NHL. We know
First
that
place.
they have been ups and downs within the games, but 5-1-1 in their last 7 and looking to be able to make it a clean sweep here tonight against Anaheim before they come home for the game Saturday against Minnesota.
Thank you for watching. Enjoy the game tonight. And
On Saturday.
Yeah.
See, you thought I was going to wrap it, but
Yeah.
no. On Saturday, we will be here at 12:30.
Okay,
So we
perfect.
hope you are too.
Thanks for watching,
perfect.
everybody.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thanks for checking in.